That's what I was saying. I just had two of them. I was like, I need an emotional support donut right now.
I'm going to download this real quick, so I'll show you.
Okay.
Drop to me. We were trying to print it for you, but we're going to send it by email.
That's
to
perfectly
you.
fine. No, that's perfectly fine.
We just couldn't connect our printer. I don't know what it is.
It's okay.
So we did enjoy your neighbor's Wi-Fi.
Oh, they have it open?
No, the what was it?
Slap the pimp.
Slap the pimp is right there. Unless that's yours. But
No, that's hilarious.
Either way, it's
That's
funny.
Slap the pimp. Oh boy. I was gonna say, does it say slap my bitch up? I can see that. I thought that's what you were gonna say. I was like, oh wow, okay.
It's gotta be the ones.
Oh yeah, probably a couple houses down. Yeah, the mixed couple.
I can't see the old man having a slap.
Him and his wife. Ha, that'd be funny.
Oh, I remember somebody I knew. Anytime they would move into a neighborhood, their Wi-Fi was CPD.
Oh, Columbus Police Department.
Freaking out, like, whose Wi-Fi is this?
Right? Yeah, we were talking about that. Seen one that said FBI van.
Nice.
Like looking outside, looking around.
That's too funny. The FBI van. Oh shoot, that is funny.
Yep. As soon as he moves to the neighborhood, they get it. Like as soon as his Wi-Fi goes up, you start hearing people talking about it outside. Like, there's a police officer who's in the neighborhood. Who is it? Who just moved in?
That's funny. Excuse me.
One of those days, technology-wise.
Understood.
Right. So, I'll share this with you over here. Slide in next to you.
Sure.
So,
Move my laptop, please.
what you're going to see is.
Let me grab a pair of reading glasses so I can actually see. Babe, will you grab me a pair out of there? Thank you.
So, obviously, you see the water in the block.
Mm-hmm.
Right there. So water should not be in your chambers of your foundation, right? They're supposed to be dry on the inside, but you definitely see water.
Yes.
Of course, these are things that we all talked about. This is what's going to be in your report.
Okay.
Of course, the saturation at the bottom, that's totally saturated. And it just goes on and on. Wet block, wet wall, mold. You got some dry rotting taking place there.
So it's definitely not something that just happened this weekend as they are implying.
Nope. So this has been leading up to this here. Wet wall by the sump pump area. That should be the driest area. Looking at the moisture underneath of your house. Concrete should never exceed 25% moisture. You're at 100%. That was on your wall. On your floor, you're at 80%. Again, all by there. And there's numbers throughout there. So we get a constant reading throughout the foundation. Looking at the sump pump, the drain tiles are bone dry. As wet as your foundation is and everything is done, no water should be pouring in there. It's just not. Again, we just keep getting the numbers. So all the information, this is your drain tiles. See dry dirt in it today. After, we have 3.5 inches of rain here. See how dry that is?
Mm-hmm.
This here, this wet wood, from the moisture. And these are things that we took pictures for you. Mold growing, starting to grow. We got a couple different places we've seen mold starting. But it just goes on and on. Right here, radon system not working. We noticed that down there.
I explained that to him.
Radon system, the motor is not moving. You got power. I checked your power. Your power was it works, but the motor's not working that I can hear. And of course, you got a outside foundation crack. It shouldn't be cracked at this point because it shifted and moved on you. Okay, so what does that mean overall? It's just what we said earlier. Your drainage systems are not working. They're just not working at all. So what this is allowing the foundation to do is undermine itself. Okay, that's going to cause structural damage over time. Right now, the good thing is that you probably don't have structural damage. Okay, I don't see anything that says you do, but we continue down this road a little further, you're going to start developing it. So time is unfortunately is not on your side right now.
Right.
You know, and I know you know that already, but I have to say it just so we're on the same page with that. And this is so a couple different options you're going to have when it comes to foundation work. We can do all this work from the outside, which is virtually impossible to do, you know, because of the proximity of the house is redigging this whole foundation out. Because when OSHA guidelines is a foot per dig, right? So your basement's about 8 feet deep, so I need about 8 feet out to dig. Okay.
Okay. So.
They didn't need that when they built the basement because they had 8 feet on the inside, right?
Okay.
So we see where the difference is now,
Yes.
right there. Well, there is a shelving technique, but it would mean we would be right up on top of their house. So it's almost impossible to do at this point here. The other way is going to be from the inside or a combination of mid-wall system. Okay, and that's what we're going to propose for you. Let me get here. So. And the mid-wall system that we're talking about is our patented system, okay? And the reason why we can't go with an interior system, because there's an interior system, okay? One, you have to take down all your drywall, okay?
That's fine.
Right there, right there.
If we have to.
Right there, take down the drywall. We put the, but it's an open system, okay?
Oh.
Which means there's moisture sitting in it. So it's probably like it's inexpensive retrofit. Okay, so what we propose to do is something different called the multi-step. And this is what you would have been experiencing when you worked with our company. This is our bread and butter. This is the reason why we're the #1 waterproofers in the country. So what we would do in this work here is we would come in and we open up the foundation floors. We have to do that because currently your drain system's sitting right about here, right at the bottom of your floors, okay, which is a builder grade system, okay. And I know this is a loaded question, but if you give a choice of a builder to build the minimum grade or minimum or exceed minimum standards, where are they going to build? Minimum, and maybe in some cases sub-minimum, right there, very bad. So we do that, we open up. Then what we're going to do is we're going to dig down and we're going to expose that footer to us, okay? So at this point here, I'm hoping that there's no undermining, but this has been going on for years. There might be, okay? Undermining doesn't have the structural support underneath that footer. This is where cracks start to develop in your walls because of that. So what we'll do is we'll go around and we'll make sure that this footer is repacked properly, make sure it's totally secure. If we do find any breaks in it, we will go ahead and we will fix those breaks as well, okay? Then what we do is we bring our drainage system to the bottom of your footers, okay? This is to protect the footers. This will drop very aggressively down and into a pressure release system. So we're going to rip out the sump pump area there and we'll come back in with a pressure release system. Pressure release system is a system that is designed to release the pressure from underneath the house proactively. So what it has is thousands of holes punched into it to receive water from the water table. It's not simply just opening up a hole and dropping it in there. What they do is create what they call a wet well around that unit. So that'll invite water up in here. So a typical sump pump moves about 30 gallons of water per hour, okay? This system can move upwards to 300 gallons of water per hour.
That's what we do at ERC.
So this will have 2 pumps in here to pump out the water. These pumps are going to be monitored by a computer system and supported with a 5-day battery backup. Okay, that way.
Well, we have the Generac.
I seen it back there.
we have
It
a
comes
Generac,
with it. It's just that have that nice backup.
Okay.
It's all one box that it comes in today, so we have them custom made for us. Once we do that, we go back and we repack all this in here. Then we re-pour your floors. Okay, back over. When we come in and we install the Easy Breathe, Easy Breeze, what we weren't doing them back when you worked with that, but that replaces a dehumidifier. Since you guys are using that space for living space, this will control all the moisture so you don't get mold growth down there. And anything that's already grown due to the wetness, that particulates are smaller than 2.5 microns, it's going to flush that out of the house. This is approved by the EPA as a clean air system for the home. Okay, so we install that in there. So that would be the work on the inside. Well, that's only half of what's wrong here, right? So we still have to talk about the outside. So the outside, what we're going to do is we're going to come in and we're going to do a hand dig around the house. So we're not going to bring in big equipment. I think you guys have been through that enough already, right? So we're going to just do a hand dig. It's going to be about a foot out and about 2 feet deep. What we're doing is we're getting past the frost line. So if we find any cracks in your foundation, we will dig out those cracks individually, one by one, and repair the block from the outside.
How do you see the crack from the out? If it's on the,
Outside the block?
yes. Like what if it's on the inside of the house? Like so, do the cracks go all the way through the cinder blocks?
Yes,
They
so
don't. Okay, it's not just like on one side of
Yes,
the.
right.
Okay.
So all cracks in your foundation start on the outside and they work their way in.
Okay. All right.
So like when you see a crack that developed on the inside, that crack probably started many years ago on the outside. You know, in most cases, everything's in a perfect world. Okay. So the proper repair block wall has to be repaired from the outside, not the inside, because they're hollow chambers, right? So we do that. Then we go ahead and re-waterproof it. They did spray on application. We do a hand application, so it goes on peanut butter thick. Once we do that, we put non-biodegradable visqueen in front of it to protect it from the soil. Bring our digs all the way back up to that 2-foot mark. Take that plastic, turn it over in the ground, and create a gutter. We call it a J channel. In here, we put in a drain tile system here to move off all your surface water, okay? Dirt, grade, filtering, all the stuff that goes on top of. So when we leave here, this looks like overturned topsoil. So we'll be digging that side, this side, and we won't be digging the front because you got the porch there, okay? The outside system is designed for sky water, rain, sleet, and snow when it comes down, okay?
Okay.
So when you got like a porch, and you got like patios, we skip over those. It's always warranted, okay? This is just so you don't accumulate the additional expenses, not necessary at this time, okay? So how it works is when it rains, surface water comes down there. And those moderate rains, as the water table just rises, it'll rise into our pump area and we'll proactively drain it, okay? Then in those rains like we had the weekend where it exceeds that, it comes up, and it gets captured in our perimeter system before so we can relocate it there. So the warranty that we'll give you is on the walls, 100%, seams and structure, 100%, floors, 100%, and air quality. This is all available for a 100% warranty. That's available for lifetime, and that is $150 a year for the warranty.
Okay.
Okay. But the nice thing about the warranty, we cover the mechanical devices.
Oh, okay.
So it's all
that's
covered. So you don't have to buy
that's
pumps or
inexpensive.
Easy Breeze. This is a one and done foundation. Never worry about it again. And it'll be lifetime with the home. The $150 never goes up. My childhood home that was done in 1986, that home still pays $35 a year. And it's on its 4th owner. So, yep, we've long moved on from that home right there. So this would be the way to correct it. Okay, 100%. Any questions on that?
No.
Nope. All right. Pricing. I want to tell you, in the 15 years I've been doing this, I've been in probably 24 homes that have failed within the first year and a half, 2 years ago into that home. So this is not unusual, unfortunately.
I'm like, how do they handle it? What have you said? What do you see how they handle it?
They
Like,
do the same thing. I mean, they contract and then they sue. Yep, that's what you have to do. Yep, that's because if the builders are never going to do anything until you sue them.
Right.
They're gonna kick that can down the road until they get that demand letter from them.
Which will be Tuesday. It would have been today, but the inspector couldn't come out till Tuesday then.
Okay.
because we're having a home inspector come out again, the one that inspected the house the first time. But of course,
Okay.
there's things that, again, you know, you have to live in the house to feel, you know, where the floor is not level, or see where the seams are coming apart on the flooring.
Yeah.
You know, we've got that problem.
Yeah.
You know,
And that could also relate to the foundation. So when the foundation
Makes
is
sense.
okay, that water table right now. So there's your footer, right? That water table is rising up and it's lowering. It's rising up and lowering. No control because your drainage doesn't work. Well, what happens when that wave washes in and washes out over your feet at the ocean?
it starts to erode.
That's what's happening to your home. So what happens is when it sinks down, your walls get shorter, right? Because they start bowing in, which throws off all the alignment of everything.
Right.
So it's like a flagpole, right? A little bit of movement at the top is a lot more movement at the top. I mean, a little bit of movement at the bottom is a lot more at the top. So here, for this work to be done today, with taxes and permits, is $27,493. Okay. What we're going to do for you, okay, is we're going to put you on our next available opening. You probably might remember that, might not. That's going to be a special list that we're going to schedule your date about 8 weeks out for work. That's where we're at. If anything comes open in our schedule, we'll come out and do it sooner because we find this is a priority. Okay. By doing that, okay, I'm going to reduce the price down to $24,916. Okay. To help you guys out to get this going, okay, is we're going to offer you 6 months, same as cash, to help you guys with this. So that's going to be just a small deposit. Then the balance is not going to be owed for 6 months. So that should give you more than enough time to settle this litigation. But
It has to be done no matter what. I mean, we don't have a choice. We can't sell the house this way.
can't sell the house this way. It's only going to get worse. Yeah. And like I said, it's good now. You don't want to just, kick this can down the road and just fight this out 2 years in court or whatever it may be, because it's going to get more damage,
What is the amount? What's the percentage, or what is the minimum amount of down payment for?
$500.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, the attorney said, wait, don't sign anything yet. But
Take the quote.
take it, because you guys are going to do it no matter what.
Yeah.
I need to finish talking to him before I can sign off. Before I'm going to sign off.
Okay.
Yeah, before I sign off. Yeah.
Okay.
Because again, we have some more information today that we provided to him that hopefully could help help this advance a little further.
Mm-hmm.
But again, we're waiting on all these inspectors to come out as well.
And really at this point here, we know what's going on, but until we actually open it up and we can show you, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to document this. So when you go into court, there's going to be a stack of pictures like this, and it's like, I've been through it.
Yeah.
They actually,
this
what they
kinda
usually see is they see
like,
me sitting in the room, and they're like,
I feel like this
ain't gonna work,
changes what can possibly happen with the lawsuit. Because at this point, it's not just sump pump bad plumbing; it's the entire house. The entire thing was just built improperly with substandard products.
right. So I mean, the we showed the product down there. That's Home Depot product.
Let me ask this question: is the $500 deposit refundable?
So we contracted. The $500 is refundable within 3 days. After 3 days, it's a legal binding contract. We're such a busy company. We don't have time.
No, I understand. I understand.
Right now we do about 5 jobs a week right now. And we're contracting 5 to 6 jobs a day right now. So this time of year, boom, 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 boom. We're contracting weeks worth of work every day.
Okay.
So like, for example, right now, when I was in the office today, our schedule was about the end of May. This time next week, you'll be at the end of, June. We'll like that every year. We go
No, I
about 6
understand.
weeks out is what our normal schedule is. We get to spring and it goes out to about 6 months. Yep. So there'll be people at the end of, May that'll be getting work done in September and October. That's just how it works. Because we're not going to hire more people and try to train them to get more jobs in the ground. We lifetime warranty it. It's on our timeline, making sure that we give you a good product. We love every one of our customers, but we never want to be back. It's too costly in that aspect.
Let me go talk to my son real quick.
Okay.
Let me speak to you.
But you know as well as I, like I said, the work getting done, regardless of how the legal
Yeah.
aspect gets done,
Yeah.
it doesn't make a difference.
No.
It has to be done. There's no way to avoid this. At this
Right.
point.
No, I understand that. I want to be able to say, okay, we had them come out. They said this is going on. How do you want me to proceed? Because if he says, let's send this demand letter right now and see if they will go ahead and take care of it with the information that we're providing today.
Yeah.
Because he would send it tomorrow
Yeah.
if I gave it to him. Because he wanted to send it yesterday.
Yeah.
But I was like, I want the housing inspector to come in
Yeah.
and get the stuff that we missed.
Yeah. Well, the house inspector, it's a little bit so. Look at the house inspector as your general practitioner.
Right, because
Okay.
he even told me he examined a house that was less than a year old and the roof was already leaking.
Yeah.
So I want him to come and look
Yeah,
at those kinds of
things
things
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Making sure that just making sure that things that we can't necessarily reach or get to that he can and he can take a look.
Right.
Again, I'm not sure if that's even going to be how the attorney said I can do that, but necessarily I know they said a construction defect consultant.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's probably the next step after what you've just told me.
Yeah.
It sounds like we've got to go a different direction with this than just where we were at.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to talk to those two folks before I sign anything.
Okay.
Again, I'm going to do it. Even if I
Yeah.
sign tomorrow, I know we're going to do it.
Yeah.
But I need to have a conversation with him first
Sure,
because I know that it voids my warranty for one, once you guys do this. My home warranty.
You're only your 1 year
This home-
foundation.
Yeah, this home is still covered under the warranty.
1 year warranty,
Yes, it's still covered.
right?
So I don't want to mess anything up yet. I want to make sure that we are within
Yeah.
the right parameters to make sure that this is not going to screw us up if we say, okay, I'm going to put the $500 down, are we still going to court? What are our chances? Because he says that, I have to go a different way. Okay, well, then I need to invest my money in this and not worry about legal proceedings then.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
So I want to hear what he has to say now that it seems like there might be something, there's obviously a larger situation at hand than we previously thought.
Yeah.
So I do want to have a conversation with him and
Okay.
see what his thoughts are.
Okay.
And I already told him I refuse to have them do the work. I don't trust that, but I'm being told that we might have to give them the opportunity to come in and try to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
But
Okay.
I don't know what would happen if they try to fix it, and then I have to have you guys come in behind them.
Right. I mean, I could be opening the foundation up twice.
Right.
And and they're not going to, there's one thing of being able to have a laborers or a skilled company come and do it pre-construction in the construction aspect. It's a whole different animal to do it post-construction.
And that's why I don't want them doing it.
Because I guarantee you,
they
never
screwed this up already. I don't want them to screw it up.
They didn't do it when they had everything wide open for them,
Yeah,
easily
they
done.
didn't do it when
Now
they
you're
had
going
the
to throw in
chance.
the complexity of a finished home on top of it. Yeah, that's just that's just a disaster. Because we see it in our industry all the time. Where people, we come in, we show them what we do, then what they do, they go down and try it themselves. Right there. Yep. And I actually had
there's no way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I had
There's
a
no way.
customer about 5 years ago called me up and goes, "Hey, Mike." I was like, "Hey, I'm Mr. Johnson. Yeah, I got that. You." I'm like, "Oh, yeah." I thought he was getting ready to move forward. Everything. So I waterproof my home with the multi-step Everdry system, but it's leaking everywhere. He goes, "What?" He goes, what can you do to help me? It's like, I can redo it all. I have no idea what you do. Look, we give you a good idea what we do. We don't tell you all our trade secrets, you know. But like he's like, what? You tell me everything? And like, yeah, that's just the way it goes. But yeah, yeah, yes, yeah. He went.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah,
I
oh yeah.
can't
And
even
I hate to say it, that's not just once I've heard that, you know? It's
Mhm.
been more than once, yeah.
Yeah.
Right there. I mean, people use this as a source of information, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. And other financing we do too. If you don't want 6 months, if it does come down to you have to pay for it yourself and
Mhm.
everything, we do offer 120 months and 144 months.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
That would be
So you
super
get
helpful.
to get in a payment that's going to be manageable for you.
Yeah. Okay. And you said I have 3 days to cancel, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, but the only thing that I should be back up. So if you cancel it, because we're going to cut and prep all your materials today,
Uh-huh.
so we would have the material that would be owed to us, any material that we would cut and prep for your home. But yeah, because we only want customers, honestly, that is committed to doing it. I know you are and wants to do it.
Yeah.
I
just don't want to sign anything. As the lawyer said, don't sign anything yet.
Yeah.
Get the information. If you want them to do it, then
Yeah.
get their information so that
Yeah.
they can do it for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, you're better off just letting us just give you the estimate right now for the
Okay.
work. What I'll do is I'm gonna leave you the estimate for the top price there, so I'll give you because that's what it is because we're doing this because you used to work for us and we're sensitive to your situation, so we want to make sure that you're taken care of.
Okay.
Who was the manager when you worked there?
Oh gosh, I can't even remember.
Right there.
I really
Yeah,
can't remember
right there.
because I worked 5 to 9,
Okay.
answering phones and setting appointments.
Yeah.
Making outbound calls and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
And cold calling sucked.
Yeah.
That's when we used to pull out the phone book and just
Oh yeah.
go through it.
Do it. Yeah.
We also had, what was the other, did we use the Haynes directory? Maybe that was a different company I worked for. Go through the Haynes directory, find the homeowners
Yeah.
and call them out of that, all of that good
Oh, yeah.
stuff.
So you carry a telephone book around with
Yeah.
us. So we have the
The
map in the
Haynes
back of the
directory-
telephone book. That's
the
what
Haynes
I used to
directory
use.
is this big
Yeah.
and that thick. It's the
Mhm.
crazy book.
Yeah.
Crazy, crazy books.
But yeah, not like that today. Now it's all push
Everything.
a button.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice and easy.
Exactly.
All right. Well, we'll get this. I want to get that report over to you. If you wouldn't mind, let me get your email
Sure.
right there. Why don't you go ahead and write your email out for me and give me your phone number.
All right.
Then, you want me to follow up with you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, she does the checkbook. I don't do it. I'll tell you to do something. She's like, I didn't tell you to do that yet.
Hey.
I gotta get the money together. Hold on.
Right there. You have one of your business cards with you? Right there. So we'll get that over to you today.
Yeah, 126 CJP. I don't know if that 6 is right.
126.
Yeah.
It looks like my 6, so I would. Right
Yeah.
there.
It's just 126 for the house number
Yeah.
and Cindy James Pinnell.
Yeah.
CJ is going crazy. He's like, I want to be nosy.
I know he does.
He's
I know he
pacing.
does.
He is
Yeah.
hard to
Freaking
know.
out.